Hey guys, welcome to our second video for this week. Today we are continuing the conversation about fasting. Now this video was supposed to go up on Monday, but I was super packed this week, so instead we moved it to Thursday. And we kind of already started the conversation a little bit yesterday with our Psalm Wednesday. So today we're continuing that conversation. And today what I want to talk about starting off kind of is just kind of defining what fasting is. And I know for a lot of us that seems very like simple. Oh, man, I got my cat trying to distract me here. Get out of here, wow. But I know it's very, for a lot of us Christians, we kind of know what that is, but it's actually a question that I get a lot from a lot of my friends who are not part of the church. A lot of times I'll be out with friends and we'll be out somewhere and like we'll go out to eat. And if I'm fasting, I won't eat. And when we talk about it, it's a very kind of weird thing for them. So it's something that they're very surprised by. So I want to start kind of like trying to define what fasting is. And I was really thinking about this subject because I don't think it's a very easy thing to define, especially because it looks very different in everyone's lives. We all kind of fast differently. We fast from different things. We fast in different ways, you know. But the definition that I kind of came up for myself in my own mind. This is kind of how I define it. Maybe you disagree, and if you do, let me know in the comments. Tell me if you kind of disagree with. But this is how I view fasting. I view fasting as it's a sacrifice that we make in the physical world so that we can grow closer with God in our spiritual relationship with Him. So it's something that we sacrifice in the physical to grow deeper in the spiritual side of things in our relationship with God. That's kind of how I wanted to start off defining what fasting is. It's the sacrifice that we are giving to God. And we do it for a lot of different reasons. We do it for guidance. We do it for blessing. We can do it as a way of worship. And I'm going to jump into like why we fast a little bit more probably tomorrow. But today I want to focus on like what fasting is, and also like not necessarily how we should fast, but where our mindset should be when we're fasting. Because fasting should be something that's way more than just a physical act. It's more than just that. If we just decide that we're not going to eat for a few days, but that's all we do, then and we're not like, really working on our relationship with God during that time, then really all we're doing is going on a diet. It's got to be more than that. And I want to start off because, if we're going to talk about this, I want to read out of the Bible. I want to speak out of His Word. So we're going to start off today reading out of Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. So if you got your Bibles, go ahead and turn there with me. Again, it's Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Now, here it says, "Cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet. Tell my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and did not forsake the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching God. Why have we fasted, they say, and you have not seen? Why have we afflicted our souls, and you take no notice? In fact, in the day of your fast, you find pleasure and exploit all your laborers. Indeed, you fast for strife and debate and to strike with the fist of wickedness. You will not fast as you do this day, to make your voice heard on high. Is it a fast that I have chosen a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head like a bulrush and to spread out sackcloth and ashes? Would you call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is this not the fast that I have chosen? To loosen the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, and that you bring to your house the poor who are cast out? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and not hide yourself from your own flesh? Then your light shall break forth like the morning, your healing shall spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry, and He will say, Here I am. If you take away the yoke from your midst, the pointing of the finger and speaking wickedness, if you extend your soul to the hungry and satisfy the afflicted soul, then your light shall dawn in the darkness, and your darkness shall be as the noonday. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your soul in drought, and strengthen your bones. You shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters do not fail." All right, so take a quick drink real quick. So here we have a very good kind of explanation of like the mindset that we're supposed to have as we fast. You know, I think very importantly, and it kind of goes along with, man, Lau, get out of here. Okay. But it kind of goes along with kind of what Jesus was talking about in the Gospels whenever he gives us direction of how we're to fast. He talks about how the Pharisees, they have the completely wrong mindset when they're fasting. One, they do it with this very mournful spirit. They're out in the corners wailing and letting everyone see how much pain they are in as they fast. That's not the mindset we're supposed to have. In actuality, as we see here, it's actually supposed to be something that we do almost out of joy. It should be something that we take joy in fasting. As we sacrifice to God, where our mindset should be, it shouldn't be something that we're doing to make ourselves look better. It shouldn't be something that we're doing to lift ourselves up. Instead, it should actually be something that humbles us a little bit. Because in reality, when we're fasting, these things that we're giving up, these sacrifices that we're making and that we're giving back to God, in actuality, those things belong to God in the first place. Because you see, everything that we have, all of our possessions, all the things that we have in our lives, they all were given to us by God in the first place. So they already belong to Him in the first place. So as we are making this sacrifice, what we are doing is we are giving back to God what already belongs to Him. So as we fast, as we make this sacrifice, we are acknowledging that all that we have, all we've given, comes from God in the first place, and we're just giving back to Him what was already given to us by Him in the first place. So it shouldn't be something that we do mournfully. It shouldn't be something that we're doing to lift ourselves up, but instead it should be a sacrifice to God, to glorify Him, to lift His name up. It should be a way that we worship the Lord, and that should be our mindset anytime that we're going into fasting. Sure, we do it for different reasons. We do it to look for guidance. We do it when we're needing God to work in our lives. We're doing it when we're looking for answers. We do it for a lot of different reasons. But at the end of the day, the very first thing that we should be thinking as we go into this is a sacrifice to God to glorify Him, to lift His name up. That is why we do these things. So it can't be just a physical act. It's got to be more than that. And kind of like I talked about yesterday, we should be pairing our fasting with prayer, with reading His Word. It shouldn't be something that is just something just physical that we do, but it should also be a way for us to work on our relationship with Him. As we fast, our aim should be to grow closer in our relationship with God. So as we're fasting, we're not just giving up certain things, but we're also praying more. We're also reading His Word more. We're also just spending more time in His presence. That's what we should be doing as we fast. It has to be so much more than just this physical act. It has to go further than that. Our spirit has to be in the right place. Our intentions have to be in the right place. And we got to make sure that our priority is correct as we go into fasting. Like I said at the beginning, because otherwise, if it's just, you not eating for a few days, that's all it is. If it's just this act, then all you've truly done is go on a diet. You haven't actually worked in your relationship with God. You haven't dived deeper into your relationship with Him like you should be. And that, at the end of the day, should be the true purpose of fasting. Like I said, a sacrifice to Him, to glorify God and to magnify Him. So we'll finish up there for today, guys. Tomorrow I'll discuss this even more. We'll talk about the different reasons why we fast. We'll talk about different examples in the Bible of big characters what God did for them and the reason why they fast and what they were looking for and the way that God worked in their lives. We'll talk about all of that a lot more tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with somebody who maybe needs a little bit more of the Word of God in their life. And don't forget to check out our youth groups page at fcyth. We've got tons of really awesome material up there. We have tons of devotionals, small 1-minute moment videos. We have podcasts. We have previous sermons from our awesome youth pastor, Josh Garcia, who does a really amazing job. So be sure to watch all of those. I'm going to go ahead and put a link down in the description so you can check that out, guys. But other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Hope y'all enjoyed.